So like, God damn it. Welcome to Demasked. My name is Fresman, and today I'm joined by Spooky Deer. Spooky, how you doing today?
I am doing fantastic, Fresman. I appreciate the invite. Yeah, I think like we were saying in our little pre-show warm-up, I was just like, I just thrilled to get an email from a real human being who wanted to talk, and I was just like, yeah, man, like let's find some time, let's make it happen. So yeah, really thrilled to be here. I've had some fun watching through some of the old interviews you've done. On
Oh
the
no.
channel as well. No,
Oh
no, don't
no.
say that. Be proud of your
Yeah.
body of work. There's no other answer than that, right? Like you wouldn't keep
Who
doing
who
it if you weren't proud.
who did you watch? I'm
I
curious.
I watched some of the more recent ones. Let me pull your channel back up because I I've just started a new day job, and that can alternate between being incredibly busy and then having like lots and lots of downtime. For anyone who went to undergrad, I would just compare it to like syllabus day, but it's been syllabus day every day for a week, with the occasional like 3 hour meeting. But then there's times where I'm literally just like chilling and working on my own stuff. Let's just say, don't tell work. But yeah, I checked out your one with Nick Nocturne. No, it's really cool because it's like YouTube is such a big it's such a big place that there's all these people doing such cool stuff, and you would never know unless you're like blessed by the algorithm, right? So it's been really cool, and I had to laugh at your chat with Pigpen that you did a couple months ago as well. I've got like that thumbnail is one of the most buck wild things I've seen. And as like I've got a lot of friends that are big Star Wars fans and have strong opinions about them retconning the music formerly known as Jizz into something else. So yeah, anytime I see that, I'm like, that's funny.
I want you to know that thumbnail took me like an hour because I kept cracking up.
Right? Yeah, it's just like just tickled by your own idea. That's when you know you're onto something good. You're like,
well,
I'm gonna
well,
put smooth jizz on a YouTube thumbnail and see where that gets us, right?
well, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I gotta type out the sentence Tatooine sands and smooth jizz. And then I like look up at my monitor just
Yeah, and the ultimate jizz iceberg right at the top. I was just like, yeah, I know you were having a good day, but probably looking over your shoulder while you were making that one too. Like I can explain. Yeah, the thumbnail grind, man. It's there's nothing like it.
well that's the thing is like I understand a lot of like content creators lately have been making multiple versions of their thumbnails and sort of switching them out as like the time wears on just to see what's drawing more attention and whatnot. I fear no censor, so I
Honestly, can I just give that a resounding hell yeah? I'll tell you, like my first the first war crimes video that I did. I'm pulling open the folder right now just so I can tell you exactly how many thumbnails I made for it, because it's like, it's like I didn't know, like I had spent so much time. Okay, yeah, I have I have one A B C D E, two A B C D, three A. Oh my God, yeah. There's like I literally have 12 different versions, and I remember I've got some friends that are like peers, we can call them, right, where that have been trying to find their way through the jungles that is YouTube for a long time, and none of us know what the hell we're doing, but we all like to sound off on, we at least want a sounding board. So I remember sending this like 12 image grid to one of my good buddies named a Sword Bearer, and just being like, what do you think? And he's like, well, I think that's too many. He's like, at the time YouTube only had A/B testing. I think they've added ABC testing, and now you can test titles in addition to your thumbnails as well. And I'm just like, and it's so funny because like, as they've introduced all these options, I've been testing less and less. Like I'm just like, I think I know what makes me happy and what's working, and I'm just like, I don't want to leave more up to chance, because I feel like the testing is cool, but it also dilutes things a lot. So I'm with you. Just like fear no censor, like ask for forgiveness, if anything, rather than permission. It's like I had all these fears, especially with the first video. Like I have some of these, it's like I've got like active like muzzle flash shooting at a wounded soldier on the ground and being like war crime. Um, and a lot of friends were like, I don't know, man, you probably shouldn't lead with that one. Actually, the thumbnail that I have on there right now, they're like, people might think that that this is like a person that's hanging, and I'm like, well, they technically are, not like in the way that one would think, but like from a parachute harness. And I'm like, and that's the one that I put, and now that's the most successful thing I've ever made. So I don't know. The moral of the story is like we can like we can lament and gnash our teeth about all the different ins and outs of what's going to work on YouTube, but we don't, nobody knows anything. We don't know anything. It's just keep doing stuff until it works.
My usual mantra for making my thumbnails is to make something that is like out of like without the context of any of the episode, it makes zero sense. But then as you watch the episode, like, okay, yeah, that was mentioned and that was mentioned. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're going for the deep cut hook, because yeah, I mean, it's like I'm looking at like this threadbare one with like an IV of Coke Zero going for a Doritos Locos taco, and I'm just like, it does compel me. I won't lie, because I'm just like, it's providing no context as to like what it could mean, but I'm like, there's got to be something in there, right?
a man with a Diet Coke IV stumbling to a Taco Bell.
Many have been in this position, truly. Like that's just relatable content.
That's a Friday night.
That's right.
That's what I'm doing after this episode.
I'm on my way, right? Like
the IV's
I'm trudging through 8 inches of snow to get my Baja Blast. Like,
I'm taking the Uber and then not tipping him.
Right? Oh my god, diabolical! Like this one's just for me.
Have a nice day, sir. I'm on a mission. Don't talk to me.
Yes, it's like I'm busy. 4.8 stars. Sorry.
Or have you ever seen Paul?
The Alien movie? Who's in that? That one though? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Simon Pegg. That's right.
All I could hear was, "I'm on a mission from God."
Man, Paul, that's a deep cut, dude. That is a deep cut. I love that. Fellow movie guy.
I subscribe to all of the typical nerdism things: movies, comic books, video games, the whole 9 yards.
Excellent. What have you been playing lately?
So lately I've been going back. I've been kind of messing with like I've been playing the older Hitman games a lot lately. I went back and did a playthrough of Myst. And there's a lot of games that like I've picked up a bunch of new games, like newer in terms of release, but I just haven't sat down and played them. Like Scorn, which I've been meaning to play. I've been interested in it for years. I finally got it. But then Skate came out, and I'm like, I want to ride a skateboard.
She's like, that sounds more, it sounds like more my speed right now. Yeah.
I just want to relax. I don't want to be grossed out right now.
Yeah, it's just like I don't want to think. Like that's real. That's interesting, man. Myst. I remember being like, I don't know, 7 years old and thinking the like box art for Myst looked so cool. One of them, I don't even know which one, and convincing my mom to buy it and getting in and playing it. I'd never played a point and click game before. I don't think I ever will again, based off of my experience with Myst, because I was just like, what in the actual hell is going on right now? I had no idea like what I was trying to solve or why I was there. And being like, this looks really cool. I wish I had any conception of what's happening.
So if I could ever convince somebody from the get-go, like complete stranger, to play Myst, they recently made a full 3D version of the original game where you can actually like walk around. It's not just point and click.
That's Having just some sort of like modern locomotion, it's stupid. Especially as someone who has like been cutting their teeth on like going back and playing like retro games in a lot of ways, and then taking heat when I like bitch about it. I'm like, to a modern standard, this doesn't really work for me. And people are like, well, it's old. I'm like, well, I know, but I'm playing it today, and it feels weird. So like, striking that blend. Yeah, you know what? Fine, you've got me. I'll add it to my wish list. Look at that.
Well, that, and there's this. What's the word I'm looking for? There's the term different strokes for different folks, but I also think it's applicable in regards to what you grew up with. So, like me, I grew up with a lot of point and click adventures, PlayStation 1 games, side scrollers, fighting games, all this. And so I'm pretty good at point and click adventures where some may falter. I'm terrible at side scrollers though.
Oh man, dude, platformers for me. That's like my ultimate. I'm bad. I'm just bad at it. Like the second I'm required to jump from one place to another, nope, bad outcomes. And puzzles, I'm bad at. I think maybe one other reason is like Mist. At least I remember playing it. I mean, the whole game is a puzzle, and I don't have that kind of brain for it. I don't know what kind of brain I do have, but yeah. But on the same hand, and like I see that they're selling it in a bundle with blueprints. It's like, and I've had people evangelizing to me about blueprints as well, and I'm like, I want to love it. The FOMO and like the desire to engage with these kinds of things is always there, but then I hit like the first like grain of friction, and I'm just like, uh-oh, you're gonna go die in my backlog now. 20 minutes played 5 years ago, and that'll be where it ends. $35 down the drain.
So I've been going back and trying to replay games from my childhood that at the time I didn't have the wherewithal to not only not play well, but not understand what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a very interesting experience because like Myst is sort of the catalyst for all this, because I actually used to be afraid of that game.
Well, there is something eerie about it. Like I have pretty hazy memories about it, but there is something like unsettling about the world in it. So I get that.
Well, I've got autophobia, which is the fear of total isolation.
Well, that's missed. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when you're on the island and just looking around, I'm like, there's somebody's gonna like run up at me or something. I don't know what's happening.
Man, that would be a diabolical mod of just like a 1 in 100 chance that something is just. Remember like the Herobrine lore from like Minecraft?
Yeah.
And like Herobrine was never real, but I like, even at the time in like 2011, 2012, when that was first going around, I was just like, what a compelling idea. Also, just for the listeners at home, my name is Spooky Deer. I am a coward. You'd think by the name, it's like, oh, this guy probably plays like horror games and stuff. Nope. Nope. Big old crybaby. And it's funny because I love horror movies, and I love the aesthetic of horror. I love all of that. The second you put me in control, it feels too much like it's happening to me, and I don't want that, and I don't like it. So it's like, while I'm like, oh yeah, someone should mod Myst and just like have something watching you in the distance and then run at you, I'd be like, ha, great idea. Not ever gonna be putting that evil on my computer.
I'm so afraid of isolation, even when it comes to certain video games that do it very well, that I created a character to get around being alone in a video game.
Interesting. Can you tell me more about that? Like, what do you mean?
So I believe I mentioned him before, but it started as like a genuine companion, which he still is nowadays, but it's become more of an inside joke. So those games where you can like drag a corpse around with you?
Yeah.
So like Hitman or Assassin's Creed and whatnot.
Your emotional support corpse, yeah.
So I name him Philip.
Incredible.
Uh, and the first time I ever used a Philip was in Dead Space.
And you just like pushed a necromorph around with you?
So there's actually a genuine rule that I've written around it, which is Philip has to be human.
Oh man. Okay.
So like a non-mutated corpse. So necromorph does not count. It has to be like one of the corpses that you find on the floor.
Untainted employee of the mining company. Sure.
Yeah. And it functions a lot like Castaway, where it is one-sided conversation. I never give Philip a voice.
Nope. He
It's
is purely a vessel to listen to you speak to him and talk yourself through whatever you're doing.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I got to head left, but I know there's going to be some horrible shit down there. Right, Philip? Cool. And then just
Awesome.
like,
Good
thanks,
to know,
buddy.
Philip. Yeah.
But
And
I've toyed with the idea. It's become a long running joke. I've like to the point it's been since 2008.
oh my gosh, yeah. So it's just like you've got the lore has built greatly with your collection of Phillips.
Yeah.
Do you live stream or anything? Or are you is this just your own like personal couch gaming cope kind of thing?
So it's funny you mentioned that. Uh I have toyed with the idea of doing, and I've tentatively called them Philip runs,
Oh, I'm here for it.
where it's just see how far and how long I can drag it with Philip behind me.
Here's the deal, man. Like specifically like talking around content. So it's just like I started all of this in live streaming, and I've been primarily streaming on Twitch, but now I've been doing both just because it's easier now. I've been streaming for 5 years. Been doing YouTube very inconsistently up until now for about 5 years. Um, and that is a banger idea. Especially when you have the existing lore, and I would encourage you to just freaking do it. You know, do it, farm clips, do whatever it is, or just do it for fun. You know, it's like I think I forget sometimes it's like not everything needs to be optimized for consumption. Sometimes it can just be for fun, but like truly the hook of Assassin's Creed, but I carry a dead body around with me the whole time. Banger 20-minute video. Like I can see it already, and like the having to go through the logistics of like picking up and setting down something while progressing through, and then like having to worry about despawning or physics whacking out. Like there's so much there, and that could be an incredible like 4 to 5 hour stream that you could cut down. And then like you've got this like whole vibe and aesthetic with like the mask and stuff too. You like
Well,
I don't know. I would encourage to like mess around with that.
so I've been actually very much toying with that idea, and I think a tradition I want to set forth is kind of in two parts.
hmm
There is starting the stream/video with the kind of overall rules of what Philip entails,
hmm
and then at the end, say we beat the game and I'm still dragging Philip behind me. It is to walk the entire length of the map with just the one Philip.
Yes, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
And I want you to know I'm in the middle of my first attempt, not streaming, but I think I might have to just cut my footage and then just do a stream because it's gonna take too much room on my hard drive.
Dude, the storage space thing. Here's the deal. I started streaming when a lot of people started streaming back in 2020. And basically from the jump, I was like, I want to have a recording of every stream that I do. I don't want to leave it up to Twitch to store my VODs. I always had the intention of starting a YouTube VOD channel. I have started uploading things to that now, 5 years late. None of them are public yet because I'm like, I don't remember what the hell I was doing. And having to like watch, like a 5 year old stream, the cringe and like secondhand embarrassment that gives me is unreal. But I need to get through it and I need to get those VODs live. I don't need to get into why I feel like it's important, but we did have a member of the community pass away a couple years ago, and he also streamed, and having his VOD channel became like a place of like refuge while everyone was like mourning this like very sudden passing. And like, I have no plans on dying, but neither did he. And I just feel like I want some remnant of that, some just like proof of like, yeah, I did this for like a long time and I'm really proud of it. Even if when I watch it back, I'm like, oh my God, first off, who was that guy? Second off, like, where was the confidence? Third off, the hell are we doing? But like, but it's all part of the journey. And I think from even just like a perspective of like looking back on the journey that I've been on, it's kind of cool. It's not something that I'm ever going to like self-indulge in, but I know that other people have asked, and I do think about like, what that meant when it happened, and having that kind of like wealth of time that other person gave us to go back and like and look back on is really, really cool. But not to get morbid or anything. But yeah, I don't know. I would definitely, all that to say, long circuitous segue into hard drive space. I've recorded every stream since 2020. Haven't done anything with it. I have a 10 terabyte hard drive sitting next to me that's full. I have now moved on to another 8 terabyte hard drive, which is half full. Just of raw recorded streams that I've recorded locally. That's not counting all of the stuff that I've done with video, not counting all of the freaking gameplay that I have to record because I'm playing through every Call of Duty game myself. And I'm keeping that raw gameplay footage. Like, it's just the space fills up so fast. And you have my sympathies. I wish I had like a better answer for how to store it. My only hope at this point is that they keep inventing new video codecs that are higher compression with higher quality.
Lossless compression.
Literally, like the even just bumping, like I had to build a new PC last year, and bumping up to a 40 series card with and being able to do like H.265 instead of H.264. It's like it is a measurable difference. I changed nothing about my recording settings other than the file type, and a 4-hour stream is now like half the storage space that it was before. Explain that, But
the problem I'm running into is I like to record for long periods of time when trying to get footage. And this is my first time trying something like this, so I'm like, all right, I might as well record everything.
Yeah.
And then
you don't have the like logistical mechanisms yet to be like, I know what I'm looking for. Dude, I'm telling you, the workflow process, again, I wish I had any advice to give. You have to stumble through it like everyone has, and you'll be like, okay, for my workflow process, like I could do this differently. I'm fortunate enough, I do work with an editor, at least sometimes, for my YouTube videos. He's been an incredible like creative partner, and having a sounding board of like truly someone that I'm like psychologically torturing most of the time with the footage that I'm providing. This is a direct quote from him. When we finished up our Call of Duty 2 video, he said, this video has a piece of me in it that I'm never going to get back. And I was like, holy shit, we need to change what we're doing because I need your help so badly with this. Like, I can't manage this on my own with like everything else that I'm balancing. So I was like, what can we do differently that you don't go actually insane?
I don't know why I was waiting for like, and then I said, that sounds like quitter talk to me.
No, I was never, I had coaches like that when I was in like high school and stuff. And I could never be that person. I'm a solutions guy. I was like, all right, brother, what can we do to like change this? And I think a lot of those workflow changes are like really positively reflected in the Call of Duty 3 video. And hopefully even more so I've got my next we got my next one in the editing bay right now for Call of Duty 4. That's been a monumental amount of effort, and I just finished recording my World at War gameplay. So we're getting better. We're getting better every time. The quality's going up every time. But yeah, Call of Duty 2 was a big. That was the first one that I turned over to someone else. It's also the second video in the series, but still, I did all the work front to back on the first Call of Duty video. And you know, I know how my own brain works, so like working with myself while torturous is at least like understandable. When I sent all the raw footage off to my editor Nonder, you know, we hadn't really like figured out, like, this was his first time taking on this kind of project. The only thing he had for a blueprint was the first video. And yeah, I don't know. Just biggest lesson learned when you're doing gameplay and like talking head or like voiceover or whatever it might be, especially if you're working with someone else, take the time and just pick your best takes. Because for Call of Duty 2, I sent him probably a 2-hour video of the talking head with every fuck up and every flub, and and then he was just like, yeah, he's like, I'll just pick the best takes. How hard could it be? Well, it was pretty hard. It was very, very time consuming. So when we went back and did Call of Duty 3, I sent him, you know, like a trimmed down video file that was basically the length of what the video is in its final edited form. And he was like, that was heavenly in comparison. So I don't know. It's just like, but like, those are the things that you just learn by like having to brute force your way through like an uncomfortable experience. And then you're like, I don't want to do that again. How do we do that differently? So yeah, I don't know. Best of luck with the, getting that gameplay to like work for you. And I mean, truly, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm like, man, you should stream it. 'Cause it's like, then there's, you know, farm your community to like help clip things for you, or to like tell you what they thought was funny. It really is like, it's such a hack of just like having that kind of like immediate live sounding board. Granted, live streaming is not for everyone, you know. It's just like, it may not be like a cup of tea for every individual person, but I love it. Like, throughout everything that I've done, all the other experiences with Burnout I've had, it's so fun. So I don't know.
Now, you did mention before we just started recording that it's been odd making things that people are asking for more of.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredibly humbling. I guess, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut off a question. If you've got more you're wondering about. It's strange. It's strange. It's been incredibly gratifying and like incredibly humbling. You know, I'm not like a giga huge like YouTuber or anything, but it's like, it's been really cool. People have been insanely mean to me as well. I want that to be clear. I have had some absolutely heinous comments, and I eat that shit up all the same, because I'm just like, if people are mad, you're doing something right. And yeah, it's a really bizarre place to be. I mean, it's just like, I'm looking at my YouTube studio right now, and I have done so much experimentation, especially in like the last, I don't know, sure, like the last like 12 months. You know, I was trying review content, and I was, you know, trying to cut down live streams into videos, and I was doing like these different sort of like retrospective things, and I did like some tutorials and whatever. And like, I liked doing all of that. I'm really proud of like the stuff that I've made. You know, it's just like, I was like a 300 viewer Andy, like with a lot of these videos that I had, where I'm just like, this is like, you know, I still think one of the funniest and greatest things I've made has 200 views. And I don't care, because I'm just like, I think it's great. And I was kind of content to keep plugging away at that until something in my life would have necessitated me to spend my time elsewhere. But then this Call of Duty series that I've had, and at large, I guess, kind of the idea, the broader idea with these like war crime videos, is I've been thinking about these Call of Duty videos specifically 3 years ago. I mean, I've had this idea for a long time, and I sat with it because I either didn't have the time, I didn't have the confidence, I didn't have the angle that I wanted to approach, but the idea didn't go away. And I took that and you know, and like I had like floated the idea past like some of my like really good friends, being like, hey, like I've been like kind of thinking around, like I think I want to do this like every war crime and Call of Duty thing. And they were like, you aren't like a Call of Duty guy. And I'm like, well, not like in any content that I've made, but it's like somehow I still own every single one, you know. It's just like, it's like while I'm like not any big fan of the series, I'm also like, I always end up owning the next one, regardless of the fact that I know that it's slop and that I hate it and I hate like what it means for the industry. But it's just like I had friends that like used to work at Activision, so it's just like, you know, a key would find its way to me, even if I wasn't buying it myself. And you know, I think maybe this isn't safe for YouTube, but hey, we don't fear censors, right? I was like, I would routinely say like, I am such a slut for Call of Duty, and it's like, I'm not proud of it, but it's where it's at, you know, like especially the early games. I grew up playing these, and I've always been like a World War II dad, even when I was like 7. So it's just like, you know, I have like really fond memories with the earlier games, and like it's become like a guilty pleasure sometimes, and it's also become something that I've like just actively hated with every fiber of my being. I'm dreading playing Black Ops 7 when I get around to it in like 4 years, given how long it takes to make one of these videos. But it's like, but like I sat on this idea for a long time. I was sitting on this idea when there were a lot less Call of Duty games. You know, it's like we have one coming out every year. While I was thinking about the idea, I fell 3 behind on my like workflow process. You know, it's just like I totally feel like I'm on my back foot the entire time. But the idea didn't leave me, and I was like, I feel like this has to mean something, even if it's just for my own interest and satisfaction. It's got to mean something. So I finally figured out what the hell I wanted to do with it, and I made it. And it's been really fun, because, you know, I put the first 2 videos out. The first one came out May 7th, the second one came out June 25th, and they both plateaued right where all of my other videos do, right around like 300 to 400 views, and they sat there like straight, like flat line. And I was like hyped about that. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like they perform just as well as anything else I've ever made. They're not a flop, right? And it was just personally gratifying for me, because I am interested in history. I'm interested in kind of like this nostalgic look at these older games. So it'll be, I mean, by the time I play even what we think of as the newer games, they'll be older games at that point, if you listen to the Call of Duty subreddit. And it let me blend some different parts of my personality that I don't get to bring out in stuff when I was doing like review content or whatever. Like I love history. I love these like philosophical discussions around like ethics, but I also love still kind of making fun of a video game when it's being a video game. Like when something weird happens, I still want to like laugh about that. And I felt like I found the voice that I wanted. And I was like, well, I'm just going to keep making these again until, you know, either I get bored or burnt out, or my life changes enough that I need to do something else. And after I published these first 2 videos, and while we were working on getting the third one written, we had some like family stuff happen like over the summer. So I was pretty, we have a pretty big gap in production. From what I would have preferred to have been doing, but my summer blew up. It was one of the worst summers ever. Just some really sad stuff was going on. So it's like I was behind on being and not really able to like focus in on research and writing. So I was like, fuck it. Like I'll just make some YouTube shorts as a like certified short form content, not hater, but like definitely it's not my thing. I was like, I don't know, like, you know, I've got like an hour and a half of long form video. Like, what if I just chop it up and it'll be slightly better than the slop that's on YouTube Shorts right now? And I'll just post one a day so that YouTube doesn't think I died. And then when we eventually get Call of Duty 3 going, maybe something will happen, right? Like that was my pure thought process. I was like, nothing will happen. Like I've had some shorts in the past get like a couple thousand views, and I was like, holy shit, that rocks. So I started doing that. I chopped all of them up, scheduled one a day, sometimes two a day with like some stream clips or whatever, just to grease the wheels. I had no expectations, no nothing. And God, let me see. It was like, I think it was one of the early ones that I posted, and it like, I was doing these all like, I'll admit, like very low effort. Like I was giving YouTube Shorts the respect that I thought it deserved, which meant like I was spending like probably 12 to 15 minutes max per edit of each one of these clips. And let me see, yeah, I posted one on September 1st. Like, like some of these were getting like, I was having shorts get like 98 views, which means like a human being didn't lay eyes on it. I posted a YouTube short on September 1st. It got 17,000 views. That officially became my best performing piece of content that I'd ever posted on YouTube. And it was like the shittiest thing I'd ever made, which is just so par for the course. But that happened. And then YouTube was like, oh, wait, hold on. Like we brought him out of like 2,000 view ad jail. Let's put more of these in front of people. Let's put all of these link back to the long form video. They're like, people were clicking through and like starting to watch the long form video. And all of a sudden I went from, 200 or 300 views on the long form to like, it cracked 1,000. It cracked 2,000, and it started going. And all of a sudden, like I'd been sitting at like 438 subscribers, and I'd been sitting there for actual years. Regardless of what I did, it always just hovered like sub 500. And all of a sudden, like, I mean, like I can look at the statistics right now, and it's just like, plus 1,300 in the last 28 days. And I'm just like, I didn't do anything different, none of it makes sense. I was just like, I felt guilty from like, oh, like I'm not gonna have another video come out that no one's gonna watch. And, but I like wanted to like do something. And then I'm pissed because I'm like, I'm a short form content hater. And then short form is like what put the lifeblood into the channel to like put it where it's at. And now it's like, yeah, I have people in my DMs and in my comments being like, hey, really like what you're doing. I don't know how to deal with that as a Midwesterner. I'm like, that can't be true. But they're like, really like what you're doing. When is the next thing coming? Are we going to see the next video by Christmas? It would be a really great Christmas present if you got this out by Christmas. And I'm just like, what do you mean? I've never had that. I've never been met with that energy around around what I've been making, other than from like my friends, which is like always like, that's very gratifying. But it's like, now I have, these are strangers. And I don't know how to deal with it. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, it's been a really long-winded ramble to get to the point of like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but it's cool and intimidating, and I feel like a lot of responsibility around it. Like I don't take it for granted, and like it's I think it's really cliche, but also like the change that has happened on this channel in a very short amount of time has like really opened my eyes to, one, how much stupid money is flying around in content. But not even for me, but just like, I'm like, I get my little taste. That's like, I get one extra metric that I can look at, and then you can extrapolate that to like whoever your favorite YouTuber is. Once you know like what the revenue numbers can look like, and then take that by per 1,000 views or whatever, you're just like, holy shit. Like, Nakey Jakey, if you're familiar with Nakey Jakey, he just put out a new video, and he had 900,000 views in 2 days. I did some back of the envelope math, and I'm like, holy shit, that was $70,000 in just AdSense, and probably far more than that because he has way more subscribers, way more appeal, a broader niche, whatever. But it's just like, in 2 days, in just ads on YouTube, and YouTube is taking a solid cut of that. Like I'm like, oh my God, I've had a taste of why people do it, I guess. Like, and I never thought I would be here. Even making my like $100 or whatever, but it's like, that's awesome because now my what is truly my hobby, I work a day job. I don't plan to not work a day job for as long as I'm doing this because I crave stability and America, so I have to have health insurance somehow. And it's just it's very, very interesting just to like kind of get that peek into the next level of the curtain. Like I have friends who are full-time content creators and I never really understood how it worked. Because like the inconsistency, if you've ever worked sales or commission, like I could never get behind that because I liked knowing that I'd have the same amount of money every month, to hopefully not fuck my life up. And then, it's like one bad month can like really be a bad month. I was just like, I never got how they did it, but I'm like, oh, sure. Yeah. It's like, if you're consistently putting stuff out and you're doing numbers, like, yeah, you can build a fine life for yourself. No, you may not get rich, but you probably don't want to get rich. I don't know. It's weird. And it's also a weird thing being like a guy with like a normie job. Like I can't talk to my coworkers about this, it's like when you emailed me, I was so stoked because I was just like, here's a guy who's also like making stuff. And you've been doing like, you have been doing interviews consistently for years. And that is an insane body of work. And it's just like, and like, you understand like what it takes to like keep doing that. Like I can't talk to like the receptionist at my job about this. She's a grandmother. She doesn't know what a YouTube is. It's a really bizarre world to like have like 1 foot in and 1 foot out of. So I don't know. It's been really, really wild.
Well, I mean, speaking as a masked man on the internet, I've got that little razzle dazzle of like, you can't even see my face if you go on my channel.
Which honestly, I gotta say, kind of a smart play. I don't know if I would do it differently going back to like not have to not be like a hero channel, I think is like what a YouTube guru would call it, right? They'd be like, well, you're the face of your content or whatever. Because it's like, yeah, I'm self-indulgent enough. Like I don't mind the attention, but I'm also just like, oh shit. Like I actually like, I can't hide. And I just know that I am exposing myself to risk. Even if it's just someone saying that I have a 5 head, which is a real thing that happened. You put your face on the internet and like people are going to say shit. And I wasn't used to that. I've been making content for years, but like I've had a very small core community, a very kind community, a very like-minded community. I really feel like I've like struck a gold mine, like on Twitch. Like there's just really good people in that core community. That I feel very protective of, and I feel like they also feel kind of protective of me. So it's like, when all of a sudden you go from, 15 people in the room with you to suddenly, there's 100,000 people who have looked at your face. It's a very like vulnerable spot to exist in, and I don't know like what all of the like possible repercussions could be, and I'm trying to like build those like healthy boundaries now before they drive me insane. But yeah, it's like people say some wild stuff, and it is really, really hard to like not let that affect you. And I'm like, man, if I could have had a cool Fresman mask from the jump, what was I thinking? Truly. I would love to just put a hood up and like be able to walk around in the world without the fear of now. It's like, it's like I've had buddies who are like working their like jobs loading trucks, and I've come up in conversation completely unbeknownst that my friends know me. It's like, oh yeah, I was watching this guy talking about like war crimes on YouTube, and I'm like, that's weird. Like it's like that. Like there has been. I don't know. I don't know. It's like I chose this, but it's weird, you know.
Well, funny enough, months and months ago, I had a close call, or what I perceived as a close call, because I refer to the people that watch my show or anybody within the sound of my voice as party people.
Yeah.
Just how's it going, party people? And I I was at work one day, and none of my coworkers know anything about my channel. They don't even know I have a channel.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there, like, I think I was like trying to put a piece of paperwork away or something, and my manager goes, "How's it going, party people?"
Bruh, and the chill that ran down your spine.
Well, no, I froze, and I turned around, and it wasn't like I tried to play it off like, haha, that's a funny sentence. It was like, how do you know that? How do you know that
told
sentence?
you? Who told you about this? Yeah.
Who spilled it? Who did it? And they're like,
not like
what
the fear of your boss seeing the smooth jizz thumbnail.
Just, no, just somebody knowing in general.
Yeah, right.
I'm aware of the content I create.
Right. You're just like if someone knows, I'm gonna own it. But also,
Spooky, there is artwork on my channel of me drawn pregnant, and it is one of my thumbnails.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can hear my partner, the person who drew it, laughing in the next room, honey.
Not Fresman Mpreg.
That said, that
brand new sentence. Yeah. Yeah.
that thumbnail makes me smile every time I see it.
Well, it's funny, like, you know, and it's like I think it's important to just like, yeah, I mean, whatever. I think everyone in the quote unquote real world's too self-serious. Like I sell merchandise that says Piss King on it in the Costco logo. I don't even have time to get into why that exists.
I've got shirts too.
And it's just like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, do we have Fresman Mpreg shirts? Because that's an untapped market.
Hold on, let me write that down.
Yeah, right. Let me add that to my New Year's to-do list, right?
Joke's on you, I'm actually writing that down.
No, I fully believe you, because it's just like, here's the thing, commit to the bit, right? Like,
and underline.
Yes. $22. Like
it's gonna turn into that montage at the beginning of Spider-Man where he's making his costume.
All the different designs. Honestly,
not pregnant enough.
Great little self-advertisement interlude that you could do of just like intercutting your own merch designs into that. Yeah, not pregnant enough.
hard cut to a piece of paper just saying, how pregnant should I be?
Add triplets. Oh man.
Octomom question mark circle.
Yeah. How big was she? Oh. That's exceptional. I'm bookmarking the merch store if I don't see this on there in the next 6 months.
Oh no.
I'm calling my lawyer.
Your Honor, man. He didn't make the Mpreg shirt.
And he promised. He said he wrote it down.
This is false advertising.
I have to say, the sentient and upset does go hard, because that's real. That's real.
One of my favorites that I've made has got to be minimum blessed, maximum stressed.
Me as hell. I think my most recent add to my merch shop has been I think it's a similar deep cut to well, it's not similar as in like Mpreg similar, but it's similar enough. My wife's best friend is a very talented artist, and I always send her my most ridiculous commissions. Because I'm just like, hey, I know a working artist. This is great. Years ago, it's weird to think that it's years ago now, but years ago, I finally played Dark Souls for the first time, and I played through the entire game, and I was very proud of myself because I'm a chronic not finisher. I never finish a game. Rolled credits on Dark Souls, and I did a push up every time I died when I played Dark Souls. Incredibly proud of it. I think I have like half of the series edited down into videos, and then I got exhausted trying to cut 6-hour streams into 20-minute videos and whatever. But as I was doing that, I had a short-lived podcast with a friend that I'm trying to reignite, because he's like my biggest like movie buff homie, where we talk about movies. But we also wanted to talk about video games, and I think that's when we started unniching ourselves enough that no one was ever going to listen. But it was very fun, and we did an episode on Dark Souls because I had just beaten it, and I was very proud of it, and I wanted to talk about it. And we would always ask each other like a primer question at the start of the podcast. And I asked him the question, what do you think the Dark Souls of real life is? What is the biggest challenge that you should have to surmount in a given day? And I don't remember what his answer was, but he was like, clearly you have something primed up for this. This is a really weird question. And I said, yeah, the Dark Souls of real life is having to take a shit after you've showered. Like you are freshly showered, your hair is still wet, and then you have a rumbly in your tumbly, and there's no going back.
Or the absolute nightmare is the emergency shit where your butt is still wet.
Yes. You've experienced the Dark Souls of real life. I'll send you a mug. Because all this to be said, years after the fact, after I thought of the Dark Souls of real life, I had my wife's friend draw me a finely rendered image of the like classic quintessential Dark Souls knight sitting on the toilet, head in his hands, with the shower still running in the background. Nobody knows what the Dark Souls of real life is unless I specifically tell them. And it is one of the funniest things that I think has ever been pen to paper. It's something.
now the question is, in that situation, do you prefer to be a strength or a dex build?
Ooh, boy.
Can I roll out of it? Can I
There
parry?
is no if you dodge roll, the Dark Souls of real life is going everywhere. Let's just think about it that way,
It's poison over time at that point.
Yeah, you're just taking constant HP damage. I think for me it's about willpower. I don't even remember if that's on it. Here's the deal. I got backseated. It's a faith build. It's just, you gotta have faith. I got backseated so hard through every single Souls game I've now played. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Cry.
My Dark Souls 1 playthrough, I started as a pyromancer. This is another one of my like random like stream clips that got a ton of views early on, and it's just everyone like, it's just the classic like Souls community gatekeepers being like, you're an idiot, skill issue. And I'm like, this is my first 4 minutes of playing this game, and I was like, I don't understand how to use magic in this game. Why did everyone tell me to be a pyromancer? And I played through with that pyromancer build the whole way through, but I just put everything into swing big weapon hard. I did total like unga bunga playthrough, and it was great. I had a great time. Not all the time. I had a number of really out of character crash outs playing Dark Souls 1. But then I remember in the podcast where we created the Dark Souls of real life, I was like, well, now that I get Souls games, this is the arrogance of my youth. I was like, now that I understand Souls games, I'm really excited to play Dark Souls 2. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did, but I'm going to do 2 push-ups per death because it's Dark Souls 2. And let me tell you, I have never quit a game faster than I quit Dark Souls 2. Just an abysmal, god-awful, horrible time. Then I played Elden Ring. Loved Elden Ring. Played, what's it called? Lords of the Fallen. They like rebooted Lords of the Fallen, I think. Yeah. And we called it Lamp Souls because you carried a lamp around. They had some really cool ideas in that one. Also great. I will never play a Souls game for my own enjoyment, but as long as I am creating content, I will probably keep doing it now because people like to see me suffer.
So I've not put a Dark Souls video on my channel. Or scratch that. I misspoke. I did like almost 10 years ago by now.
Scrolling.
It, it's like Dark Souls 1, something like that.
I'm in the Rust era. Hold on.
Oh
Scrolling.
no.
I'm only 7 years ago.
Only
Freshman,
only
you have had a storied career. I'm in Gary's Mod. I'm in Deus Ex. Okay,
I've been around the block a good 1,000 times.
Hey, this is the thing that like here's what I really like about this though, is you're a braver man than me. I couldn't tell you how many unlisted videos I have on my channel. Because I wasn't willing to keep my body of work visible. I was just like, I can't do it.
Oh no, I'm a firm believer that shame is a fantastic motivator.
Shame builds strength.
And so I'm like, if I'm gonna do that, all of my videos are gonna be up.
You know what? I respect the hell out of that.
And I just like I'm not gonna lie to myself. My first couple videos, my Overwatch playthroughs, suck. They just suck.
Here's the deal: if your first content doesn't suck, I think you've done something wrong. Hold on. Let me look. I haven't had this channel active for a long time, but I remember very early on in my time when I was just a baby little Twitch streamer. I thought I wanted to be exclusively an Escape from Tarkov creator. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about masochism. And I started making like a like noob tutorial series. It wasn't even a tutorial series. It was like a let's play. These thumbnails are terrible. I don't even recognize the guy in these images. I don't know if I'm ever gonna have the courage to I probably, I shouldn't say that. I probably will have the courage to unlist them, but I'm just like, I go back and watch these. Brother, oh man, it's something. It's really something.
Would you like to know? Like, at the time, not my favorite videos to make, but do you know what might be my favorite short series that I
tell me?
The Opposing Drunk series.
Opposing Drunk.
Here, direct to you, I have a playlist.
Beautiful.
8 years ago, decided to take a shot every time I died playing Half-Life Opposing Force on hard mode.
Dude.
And if I recall, the final number was like 23 or 24 shots.
Holy.
So do you drink recreationally?
I am right now, yes.
I had this shot glass that was split down the middle, like it had like a separator. And I want you to tell me how bad my drink choice was.
Dude, okay. Let's hear it.
1/2 Malibu coconut rum.
Fuck.
The other half chocolate liqueur.
I get what you were going for.
And no food.
And on an empty stomach. Oh, of course. Oh, no, of course. Of course. It's like you made like an almond joy shot, but Malibu coconut rum I've gotten fucked up on before, which is embarrassing to say. It's just completely like white girl wasted. But I've been there. I've been in the Malibu trenches. You did 24?
Hold on, double checking my numbers. I got 21. And then I died again, and I didn't even put the number up.
You didn't even know. You were just like, I don't know where I am right now.
Well, no, it's because I edited the videos while hungover.
Brother. An important part of the artistic process, to be sure.
And I want you to know I made a rookie mistake because I've never been that hammered before or since.
Yeah.
Uh, Drunk me likes to plan for sober me. So
Well, that's nice.
I can be wasted, but drunk me will be like, okay, I'm gonna set out a cup of water and some aspirin. and but for some reason, me being drunk, you know those like giant plastic like the collectors like theater cups?
Yeah.
I filled one of those with ice water.
Legend.
And my thought was like, I'll just have that when I wake up. Everything will be fine. And I
Oh.
wake up the most hungover I've ever been,
Hmm.
and I decide to chug the water, and my body goes, no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah.
and wi- and I think the part that I've left out of the story, which haunts me to this day, is I was currently living with my mom at the time. And so I throw up, and my mom, who was 5 foot nothing, comes walking out of her room in like her bathrobe, and she's like, "You okay, sweetie?" I'm like,
I've inflicted irreparable harm on myself.
I was just like, "No."
No. I I'm trying. Yeah, I mean, it's like we've all been there. I don't think I've ever self-inflicted. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that because honestly, one of my fondest memories. I was working like a pretty meh job, but I met one of my best friends in the world working that job. And this is when Call of Duty World War II came out. Again, I'm a slut for Call of Duty, right? So it came out. I was really hyped about it. I was really excited that they were going back to World War II. And my buddy is like not a gamer, but he's like, very casual. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, sure. Like, I'd love to play the new game. I was like, awesome. Well, I'll come over. We'll order a pizza, and we'll just like modern curse of modern gaming. There's no couch co-op. There's nothing like that. So I was like, we'll just pass the controller every time we die, and we'll take a drink every time we die. Well, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy, if you can see where this is going, right? It's just like, oh, drink when you die. Clearly, that won't have negative recurring feedback loop the longer you play, right? By God, we got through that whole game, but we were fighting some demons by the end. Like, I think we polished off a handle of something. I remember stumbling, through the evening because he still smoked at the time. He was like, we got to go get some cigarettes. And I was just like, word. So we like took a break, got some fresh air, stumbled our way to a gas station, somehow miraculously found our way back and just picked up right where we left off. And like, to this day, like Call of Duty World War II still has like, I have such fond memories around that game because it's just like how fun, It's just like I was like in my like mid 20s and we were just doing some stupid shit. And it's like what a fun memory to have with a friend over what I think is an incredibly mid game. Like it's just like, like in my mind, I'm like, this is just so good. And I know that when I finally get around to playing it for the series, I'm going to have to tell that story in the video. But it's just like, I just know that the underlying game there isn't anything like super exceptional.
Hear me out. One shot per war crime.
Brother. I'll be honest, I don't even remember what Call of Duty 3 ended on. But it was a lot. I'm not the young man with a functioning liver that I used to be. I have like, well, I just got married and my buddies, including the buddy, thank you, yeah. And my buddies, including the guy that I played through Call of Duty World War II with, threw a surprise party for me. Genuinely tricked me. Bachelor party was not on my radar. I was very focused on just getting the planning done and all that kind of thing. All of a sudden, we show up to that friend's house. I I was under the impression that we were picking up food. I was starving, hadn't eaten anything. Show up to my buddy's house. He hands me a pint glass full of bourbon. And he's like, that has to be gone.
Oh.
And I was like, uh-oh. Let me tell you, drinking like I did that night at 33, as opposed to what I could do when I was 23, incredibly different. Also, the outcome for, like, not even joking, the preceding next half week. You ever had a 5-day hangover?
No, my record is 2.5.
I just felt insane. I remember I was very proud of myself. I hate throwing up. And I remember towards the end of the night, you know, I've been mixing poisons. It's not like I was just drinking one thing. Like, they were putting anything in front of me. Yeah. And they're like, let's play Mario Kart at the end of the night.
Oh.
And that was like the tipping point where, like, I no longer had any strength left. And there's a video of me holding my head up with my hands. And all my friends are like, oh, are you having you having a good night? Are you excited to get married? And to my credit, I do say, yes, I'm very excited to get married. And they're like all patting me on the shoulder and whatever. And I'm like, but if one more of you touches me, I'm either going to throw up everywhere or I'm going to fight all of you. And they were like, message taken loud and clear. They left. They let me lie down. I did not throw up. My life may have been easier if I had, but it's a point of pride. And I had a lot of shit to do that week. And a lot of that stuff got delayed by many, many days because I just couldn't. Like, I didn't have my wedding suit yet. We were like 5 days out. My suit had gotten caught up in, like, customs and tariffs and whatever. And actually, they called me 3 weeks after the wedding. They're like, hey, your suit finally showed up. And they're like, you probably want your money back, huh? I was like, yeah, no, I wasn't planning on letting you just keep that. So I was down to the wire on some pretty critical things for the big day. Got it all figured out, but man, I fought some battles.
Would you like to hear a very recent rough time that I had?
Happily. I shared mine. You share yours.
So, Halloween this year.
Oh boy, that is recent.
My partner's aware of this one. So I had forgotten. Okay, so I worked the closing shift at my job and got out of work about 11:30. And I was told about midway through my day, hey, we're invited to this Halloween get-together. It will only be there a couple hours and, you know, just go hang out with whomever. And I go, sure, sounds fun. And what I forgot that I was told by my partner was that we had to get up at 5 a.m. the next day.
Dude, no.
So I'm reminded of this about 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we got to be up in 3 hours. And you're like, well, I am awake.
Well, no, I'm reminded of this while we're still at the friend's house. Drink in my hand. And I've been being fed rum shots back to back to back. And to the point where by the time I have taken the shot and set it back down on the counter, I hear, do you want another one? And, yeah, sure.
Oh, no willpower at that point. She's like, yeah, sounds great.
Do it. But the thing is, my chaser is one of those Cayman Jack, like margarita in a can.
Oh, your chaser is just more poison. Yeah.
Yep. And so we get home about 3 a.m. and I go, you're sure we have to be up at 5? Yes, we have to be up at 5. Great. Fall asleep, kind of, for about an hour and a half. Wake up, I'm pretty sure still drunk.
1,000%, yeah.
And get all my work clothes back on, which I barely had the chance to take off because I was still wearing them when I went to the get-together. And so I should mention, my shift at my job does not start until 11:30 in the morning that day. I get dropped off in the middle of a parking lot at 5:12 in the morning.
God. Just
the bu-
still drunk with 6 hours to kill.
the building, but I was told it was closer to 6, but I'm being yelled at by my producer. um, but I I'm sitting. Okay, so the building is closed. It is closed until 9 a.m. and so are all of the other businesses, and it is like 50 degrees outside.
Brother.
And so I'm just sitting there, and I'm so mad.
I just want to be asleep right now.
And I'm like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I just kind of want to call out and then walk home. Like, fuck this.
Truly.
And I don't, for some reason. I managed to walk in the building right when it opens, say hi to my manager, who doesn't ask me why I'm there 3 hours early.
Just like, all right, real go-getter attitude, right?
How you doing today? Good. Don't start until 11:30. And he's like, all right. I'm like, yeah. And I tried to go sleep in the like maintenance room that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't work. And so I did my whole shift, and I'm like shambling.
Mm-hmm.
And people are asking me stuff, and I'm like half answering, just
Actively getting hungover as the day goes on, just the ultimate punishment. Yeah.
yeah. I was sitting there. I'm like, man, I'm real angry about nothing in particular. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm hungover. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm fighting for my freaking life right now.
And thankfully, so I worked until 6 in the afternoon, but the person that takes my spot comes in at 5, and and my manager, the saint that he is, looks me in the face and goes, "Hey, since he's here, you can go ahead and head out now if you want."
Thank God.
To which I legitimately almost started crying.
Yeah.
I'm
Like I really needed that. Yeah.
well, I'm standing there. I'm like, "Are you sure?" And they're like, "Yeah, go ahead and clock out. You can head home." I'm like, "Okay."
You're a real one. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there trying to type my employee number into the clock, and I remember my partner comes, picks me up, and I get in the car, and my partner goes, "Well, hey, did we need to go anywhere before we go home?" And I just like, no, just
No.
straight home.
Home is perfect. Home is really the only place I want to be.
Don't ask me for nothing. I'm laying down, going to sleep.
Yeah, it's like I'm not existing until this time tomorrow.
And I remember like I kicked my shoes off. I still have my work clothes on. I laid down on the couch, and I just hear like, "Hey, don't you want to get into some pajamas, get comfy?" I'm like, "No,
No, I've done enough today.
leave me alone."
Dang, dude.
Not doing that again, that's for sure.
No, it's just like, yeah, it's like I'm sure I'll learn something from this.
Sure, I will.
Right, for a little bit anyways.
I'm getting eyebrow raises from my producer across the...
She's like, yeah, like don't put that one on the record maybe.
Well, no, like it's gonna happen again.
Oh, it's yeah, inevitably.
I'm getting nods from leave me alone.
Oh man.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
No, it's just not worth it.
I have so. By the way, since this episode started, I've had a question that popped into my head, and it's a really dumb question, but it's making me laugh. So I'm looking at your more current videos, the Call of Duty ones, and then I scroll down a little bit, but my brain put them together, which is how many war crimes do you think there are in American Truck Simulator?
Well, when I'm driving, there's I've done a couple truck simulator things, mostly on streams. and mostly to disappoint my dad. My dad was a career he was a career long haul truck driver.
Uh-huh.
Incredibly good and dedicated, 40 years of driving around the country.
Mhm.
I cannot back a trailer in this game to save my fucking life. And yeah, I don't know. I remember I found a steering wheel on sale at one point. And I was just like, oh, this will be fun. I should use this to play Truck Simulator. I didn't realize how chaotic that game could be. And I have definitely killed multiple, families of four on my way to deliver lumber or whatever. Like I am the final destination truck. Um,
Pit
it's
maneuver every Kia Soul you see.
straight up. Well, I think they're even in that I get tased every time I make a mistake video. Um, I I hooked myself up to like it's like a tens machine, but you can use those to simulate menstrual cramps. Um, so that's what I did. I did an 8-hour stream where I left my now wife in charge of the power level button. Uh, and every time I got a traffic violation in the game, of which I got many, and for every 30 seconds that it took me to back a trailer in, we would increase the power level.
uh,
And here's the deal. Definitely not undercutting the experience that those who have menstrual cramps go through. What I experienced was nothing on par with like actual internal cramping. It when we at one point hit the maximum power level, like I think the machine I had went up to 30, whatever that means. And straight up, I got scared. Like I actually like I had to turn the machine off because it felt like it felt like the fibers of my abdominal muscles were unstitching themselves. That's the only way I can describe it. Like I truly felt like at a like you were like ripping a pillowcase or something. Like I felt like I was actually being shredded apart. And it's funny, it's in the video. You can see the genuine fear in my eyes. But yeah, I think if anything, I did a crime against myself that day because 8 hours of that, like I was having muscle spasms for days after. Don't try it at home, kids. That's all I can say. It was
I
it was an experience.
see. You describe your experience, and I hate that my first internal reaction was, "How much is one of those tens units?"
Not a
How do
lot.
I-
$20. I will literally send you a link to what I used because it's like it's it's worth experiencing, especially if you have someone in your life like your producer, let's say, who might have experienced that before. The glee, the just gleaming glee that they can get from watching someone who's never experienced it go through it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna do something special here. Hey, hon, I have a question for you, but I need you to answer just as loudly and clearly as you can. Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
Good volume.
So, if I were to purchase a tens unit,
Yes.
let me finish. I hook it up to myself
Yes.
to simulate menstrual cramps. I'm getting worried with how on board you are.
Yeah,
right out of the
very.
gate.
There's a lot of
Yes.
excitement.
And I gave you the power
Yes.
to shock me whenever I made a mistake in a video game. Would you do that with
Yes.
me?
All right, a resounding yes. The link is already in your
All
DMs.
you had to say it was tens unit, and I'm sold, man.
Just absolute zero hesitation. Like
I'm a little worried with how fast that.
maybe pick up some flowers the day that you plan to do this, just to try earn some goodwill for yourself.
Oh God, it is $20.
It's $20. It's $20, and it put me into genuine fight or flight at one point. So, and there's one in red for $24. Depending on what you want to do.
I'm I'm concerned at the sheer amount of pads because knowing me, I'm gonna try to use all of them at once.
Just don't put them on your balls. You know,
Damn it!
they have instruct there are certain configurations that you shouldn't do, which is also I think what puts some fear in me because they're like if you put two pads in the wrong spot, it'll cause an arc across your heart and it'll kill you. And I'm like, can what essentially an iPod Nano really do that to me? And then we turned it up to max power, and I was like, yeah, that probably could have killed me.
Oh no, my thought is trying to like put them on my arms on top of the menstrual cramplets.
Yeah, so actually, kind of a funny thing. I watched a video where someone, God, this is such a weird deep cut. I'll probably never be able to find it again. But someone had rigged up a TENS unit to an aimbot program to essentially biohack themselves.
Nope, I know who it is. It's basically homeless.
Yep, that's the name. Yeah. And he electrocuted himself into being good at like Counter-Strike or whatever, right? Like it's just an absolute what an insane it like. And he was doing some other like jailbreaking on that stuff too. But I was like, it's one of the ideas of all time. It's like, man, you could have just played Counter-Strike on a Dance Dance Revolution pad, but I guess someone's already done that. So sure. Electrocute your muscles into wall hacks. That's perfect.
Now, my thing is, can I hook this up to my PC?
Ooh, the one that I sent you is just a purely handheld unit. Also, actually great for like back pain and stuff. If you, there are genuine uses for this other than like self-inflicted torture. But I'm certain you could find a way. Like I don't know what your coding skills are or anything. There would be a way that you could make this work for you.
I want you to know that the second I brought that up, I look over and my producer was looking at me, pointing at themselves, going, "No, it's got to be me.
I'm the computer." Just a little like, concerning amount of eagerness from the production booth, but that's okay.
Sweetie, we're not buying a taser.
Oh my god. I've never been tased. And I think the time in my life where I was like curious has come and gone. There was a time I remember specifically in high school asking my school resource officer, just like, listen, man, we're in a small town. You're never going to get to use that thing. You want to tase me? And his answer was, more than anything in my whole life, but there's no shot that I can do it. I was like, okay, a concerning amount of eagerness. He's like, I would love nothing more than to shoot this into your spine.
You specifically.
Yeah, no, yeah. He's like, you're in front of me. I would gladly light you up with this just to make sure it still works.
You've been on my list for so long.
And it's just like, and I was a good kid. I was just like, man, what do you want to do to the ones that actually create work for you? Yeah, funny stuff. Okay, well here, let me ask you a question. How about that?
Uh-oh.
I love flipping this kind of stuff around. You've done this interviewing thing for a long time. Why? What was the impetus for it? Why did you want to do this? Why did you want to take time out of your day to talk to freaks like me?
See, it's funny you say that because I've been lately kind of going over that in my own head as to why the why of it all, and it's the simple answer is because I find people who make videos on YouTube very interesting, more so than the videos that they make, because I like take your videos that you've made lately, the war crimes of Call of Duty. I also would like to know like the path that led to that, you know what I mean? And there's also that general curiosity when it comes to like very consistent content creators. Like the measure that I usually use for somebody who I want to just like poke and prod and pick their brain would be PewDiePie. While I'm not a fan of his content and I haven't watched his videos in like 10 years, I want to see what his life looks like in between recordings.
Yeah.
And while I myself am a masked man on the internet, I also respect the kayfabe of other creators. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, what's your real name or where do you actually live? Like, I'm not going to dig into the personal life of somebody who doesn't willingly give up that information on an online forum.
Mm-hmm.
But as to the why of it all, it's the simplest answer is it's something I just genuinely enjoy. I enjoy having these conversations, even though if you asked me like at the beginning of my show, I'd say I'm terrible at talking to strangers. But this show has changed that drastically to where I can hold long-form conversations with people that I'm not only interested in talking to, but I am a fan of without geeking out and just like sitting here going, oh my God, I'm such a big fan. and that's actually translated into my real life as well. Like whenever I go to a convention and there's some, perceived celebrity there, I can actually go and talk to them instead of just, oh my God. It's something I thoroughly enjoy and would like to continue to do. And I hope I'm good at it. I'm not usually one to like measure my own work.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, because I will say you are very easy to talk to, very affable, and it's interesting because I feel like you're kind of like you are materializing and kind of like demonstrating, I think, one of the best like soft transferable skills that comes from making content. It's something that's really hard to like, because it's like I don't usually talk about like what I do with video or streaming in my like day job, even if I have like not getting what I do for work, but it's just like a lot of the skills that I have built and honed and the confidence that I've formed up doing this is immediately transferable to what I do like for an actual living, I guess. And I think it is really, it's one of the really underrated things. I think it's really easy for people to be dismissive of, people who are just talking to a camera in their room or whatever, being like, what are you even doing? Like, what value are you adding or providing? And it's just like, well, I have increased some very genuine skills. I feel like I have become a more confident, it feels weird to say interesting person, but I think I've become at least a more engaging person from doing all of this. And I think even like to your credit, like honestly, like the fact that you're like going up and like talking to people at conventions and stuff, I've gone to TwitchCon a couple times and kind of regret that I haven't like spoken with people that I either like appreciate or admire or like find interesting, because like even after doing this for so long, I would like let myself get intimidated by it, or like I haven't taken advantage of potential opportunities because of imposter syndrome or things like that. Like I think I've done some work to like push through a lot of that now, and I've gotten to meet some really cool people doing all of this. But yeah, it is really interesting, and I think it's a really cool thing that you're doing, even just like for your own sake and enjoyment and well-being, to be able to like kind of push past the like awkward small talk with people, because it's just like, yeah, it's like if I go to like a meet and greet, like I don't want to just be like, yeah, I guess I'm like a big fan of your work and stuff. Anyways, bye. Like I want to like actually talk about like real things, and I'm very envious of people that are like able to kind of get over that mental hurdle, even though it's like I feel like a lot of the times I don't have an issue with that. So it's like I don't know like what my own hang up is, But on the same hand, I'm like, this is a perfect demonstration of like why to do the things that you do. And as a fellow, like, I love to talk shop, you know, I love to talk about the behind the scenes. And I think the creative process is like you said, often more interesting in some ways than the actual creative output. I did theater for a long time, uh, like when I was in high school and in college, and I always thought that the best part of any production was everything that went wrong behind stage. You know, all of these things that you then try to mask from your audience. Those are the stories that I love to tell, and those are the things that I remember. Like, I don't remember a single thing that I've ever done on stage, but I remember everything that like broke behind the scenes, and like the scrambling to either save face or to like make sure that like everyone hit their mark or got their cues, in spite of it. I would do like stupid video projects in high school, and like, again, like, you know, the video project, like the assignment would be like, you have to make like a 5-minute video. And what I would submit would be 20 minutes long, because there would be all the like bloopers and fuck ups as we were trying to do stuff that I just like, I found way more compelling than like the assignment we were given. You know, it's just like, we played around with like miniature work and like all this stuff, for, you know, like a high school English assignment. Like, and it's like that kind of stuff. Like, I'll always remember going to Walmart and buying like a Matchbox gas station that we then blew up with fireworks, because it made sense for what we were making, as opposed to like what we actually like submitted in the end. So I don't know. It feels very like self-indulgent, I guess, but it's also like, it is fun to talk about. Like, you know, I have friends who I think are substantially more talented creators than I am, and honestly, you should probably put them on your short list if they've got the time to talk. My buddy Swordbear, I think, is just one of the most interesting and effortlessly talented people that I've ever known, and like the skits that he writes and puts together and films for his videos, the music and like sound beds that he creates for like, you know, a 3-second cutaway gag, like all of that stuff is so interesting. And like, I guess, you know, part of it's because he's my friend, part of it's because like I get to be like looking in through that window to that creative process and being like, man, that's funny, like, and just appreciating like that kind of work that goes into it all. I don't know, process is always just going to be, I think, really compelling for me. Maybe that's the kind of brain I have. It's not puzzle games, it's why we do the things that we do.
Now, well, from it, like an interviewing point of view, I think a massive hurdle that I thankfully kind of got out of the way early is not being afraid. The term I consistently use for this show is that I ask stupid questions. but not in a self-deprecating way. I've mentioned this before in previous episodes. I don't plan anything.
Right.
I don't write anything down. I'm not staring at a document of like pinpoints to hit. And that's part of where this show is born, is out of frustration with actual, or not, I wouldn't say actual talk shows, because I consider myself an actual talk show.
Right.
But your sort of more famous talk show hosts kind of all ask the same question, especially when it comes to perceived celebrities. Like, did you like movie you were in? Did you like making movie you were in? What was it like working with other celebrity?
Mm-hmm.
And
it's like the presser runs, yeah. Other than the few exceptions to the rule, have got to be one of the most like arduous, soul-sucking things that a person has to like be put through contractually. in
asking stupid questions, like if I were to sort of try to look back mentally at the entire conversation that we've just had in the last hour and a half, we have barely talked about your channel.
Right.
And like, but that is what I consider a good interview, because I'm getting to know you, not your content.
Exactly. It's like if anyone wants to know the content, it's there and it's publicly available. That's kind of the whole point of it, right?
Yeah. And and it started to bleed in my real life because so me and my partner went to a horror convention recently.
Nice.
And have you ever seen the movie Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Yeah.
So we got to meet the actor who played Dale, the heavyset.
Oh man.
Guy, absolute sweetheart. But we also got to meet Jesse Moss, the guy who played the villain, the sort of Chad douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
And what was bothering me, like, mentally was that a lot of these people were flocking to Dale's actor's spot, but not really anybody was going over to Mr. Moss's spot. And I'm like, I gotta go talk to him. I'm so curious about multiple things. But I'm standing there and I'm immediately something in my brain clicked back over into talk show host mode where it's like, I can't just, hey, I'm such a big fan. Nice to meet you. I'm like, I have to ask him the dumbest question I can like summon. And so I looked him up on IMDb, and he was in a couple seasons of the hit children's TV show Dino Trucks.
Oh, hell yeah. So you're like, what was it like working on Dino Trucks? And I'm sure his head spun around.
But like I walked up to him, and instead of like, hey, I'm such a huge fan, I just like, hey man, what was it like working on Dino Trucks?
That's so awesome.
And he just, instead of being like, haha, that's interesting, he just goes, oh shit.
It's like, oh god, no one was supposed to know that I needed to pay my rent that month. Like,
and he started laughing, and he goes, to be completely honest with you, he goes, I almost got the main character role for that show, but I haven't seen a single episode. And I started laughing while still shaking his hand and went, me either, man.
I haven't seen a single episode. Same. Truly same. Oh, that rocks.
And it's one of my greatest shames that I didn't bring my mask with me. I think I had some issue with it where I couldn't. But I've been so badly wanting to get business cards printed to hand out to people at conventions.
Yes. You should. I mean, it's just like, what? It's like $30 for business cards. You could probably even get them in the shape of your mask. So it's like something a little like memorable, right? Like,
well, like if I remember, I found one website where it's like $5 for 50 of them.
Perfect.
And I just, on one side, I just want to put like something nebulous, like I want to talk to you.
Vaguely threatening. Like,
yeah, I will talk to you.
Yeah, we gotta talk.
You see me before, you will see me again.
Well, isn't that what you cold opened with Nightmind on? Like,
okay, so quick thing about that those tweets are genuine.
Oh, I didn't doubt that for a second. Did not doubt that for 1 second.
And that the photo that is drawn is by my own hand. That is a real photo.
Exceptional.
And well, like I'm like, I gotta do something special for his episode, and then like that hit me. I'm like, yeah, like it's like I'm jokingly amping up the frustration I felt at the time 8 years ago.
Right, it's just like, you left me on red. Like, what the hell?
And I will say, it's weird to talk about the making of another Demasked episode on an episode of Demasked.
It's meta. I'm here for it.
But I'm so happy I got the timing down on the Welcome to Demasked.
It's just like, it feels good when it just hits, right? Like
I was so worried that I'm gonna stand there and I'm like, I don't know what to do at the end of this thing I'm filming. I gotta do something, and we're like, maybe run at the camera. No, I'm too far away. That'd look weird. And then I remembered the photo of me doing the finger guns from 8 years ago. I'm like, oh yeah, that's it.
That's it. Just like it's time.
All that's left to say is welcome to Demasked. But so Spooky Deer, we have crossed the hour 40-minute mark,
Have.
and I do have some stuff I gotta do.
Understandable, man. It's that we're going into the weekend. This has been such an easy breezy, beautiful cover girl hour and 40 minutes. Like, it's flown by. So thanks.
Absolutely. And I do have 2 questions for you
Uh-oh.
to get us out of here.
All right.
The first one, what is a video on your channel that you are fond of that you'd like to see in the description of this video?
I really think it's probably it's cliche, but I think the most recent one that I put out, the how devastating was the nuclear explosion in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. This is my teaser for my next full war crime video, and my editor has said that this is his favorite thing he's ever made. So I'd love to see that get the attention that I also think it deserves. It was really fun to research.
Nice. And I will put a link in the description direct to that video.
I appreciate that.
And the second question, sometimes the hardest, would you be open to coming back as a return guest?
Absolutely. Yeah. This was a ton of fun. I don't know why you'd want me back, but I would happily come back. Hopefully I did my justice for you.
I think this went very well. I don't know about you. I think this went incredibly well.
I had a great time. I had an absolutely great time. Like, because can I just full disclosure? We've had a great hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a great way to sign it off. I used to work in sales. Getting a cold email is like triggering isn't the right word, but it is one of those things where I put up my dukes. I'm like, well, what's going on? What do
you want? What
are you selling? What's going on? And I read it through and I was like, you know what? This is fucking cool. Like you did. Here's the thing. As someone who has also been recently cold emailing a lot of like organizations and stuff, your email, very well written. You should be very proud of it. Succinct, to the point. Showed me what you were about, and did not scare me. Did not. I was not scared. I was like, this Fresman, I need to know more. And now I do know more. And I'd love to come back. I'd love to talk as much shop as you're willing to indulge me in. I don't have a lot of outlets for it. So, yeah, always happy to talk process or talk about getting absolutely wasted. I'm going to try your Almond Joy diabolical mixture. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know what you were thinking while you were doing it, but that's what I'm going with. Be careful. Well, 24 is a little much. I'd eat 24 real Almond Joys. I think I'll probably try one sip and then see where the night takes me.
I'm gonna get a text from your Discord just like, I'm in the hospital, it's your fault.
Yeah, it's just like, I feel insane right now. I'm having the Dark Souls of real life, and it's your fault.
I'm trapped on the toilet. The shower is running.
Shower's running. It's and steamy in here. I feel insane.
And I'm crying.
It's just, won't be the first time. Won't be the last.
It's hard to wipe through the tears.
Right. Listen, I'll leave your listeners with this. Bidet gang for life. That's I'm wipe free, man. Like it's a whole new world out there. The Europeans were right about one thing.
I mean, that's what the shower's for, though, right?
Listen, we don't have time to get into the logistics on this. You invite me back in 6 months, and I'll talk you through the process of how to appropriately handle the Dark Souls of real life, and it'll be a really upsetting callback for everyone who listens. And I'm looking forward to it.
But with the party people at home, please, please, please go check out Spooky Deer's channel. There will be links to the channel and the aforementioned video in the description below.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I leave you with the horrors of my existence.
I think I know what this week's intro is going to look like.
Oh boy, that I will be watching for with great eagerness.
I know now what I must do.
You got your marching orders, right?
But with that, party people at home, this has been Demasked. My name is Fresman, and I'll see all of you next time.